I think a lot of people look at our industry and they're like, well, you guys are a bunch of heartless people, y'all don't care. They're just a tool to you. But they're not. They're not just a tool.
They're not.
They're our families, they're our friends, and they rely on us for everything they've got. So um I think that's another aspect of like people who don't do what we do, they completely miss out on that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ramblin Rodeo Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Ellis, and I hope you're enjoying your day from wherever you are watching this from. Today, we have Katey Joe back on the podcast for a part two. I am so thankful to have you back on the show. How have you been?
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I've been really good. We've been um kicking up our yearling intake. I guess we started about a month ago, and it's been super busy here.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of a? Are you talking about like? Are y'all buying, or what are y'all doing as far as that?
Yeah, so Kyle, my husband, manages the yearling part of the ranch here that we live on in Bartlesville, and his boss buys them, and then we take them in, straighten them up, and then ship them out when they get what we call straight. Make sure they're healthy, get on feed really well, and then we'll send them out to the other ranches, and we'll keep getting cattle in till I think November.
Mm, mm. Isn't it like a um kind of an expensive time to be buying and getting them? Like usually it's a
Big.
winter time you're wanting to get them.
Yeah, it's an expensive time, but actually this place is so opposite of anywhere I've ever been. Summer is our busiest time of the year. We get pretty slow in the winter.
Really.
Hmm.
Around here, like if you're gonna buy stock at all, the winter time's the best time. Like right now, it's so bad to be buying stuff at all.
Yeah, it's an expensive time of the year. I mean, and this year especially has been crazy as far as cattle prices go. But our grass is way better right now than it would ever be in the winter time. So they really grow and do well because we have native blue stem here, and it's a very strong grass. So
Mm.
the cattle gain super well.
Do y'all feed anything, or y'all just grazing?
No, we feed. They have a loose ration. I can't tell you what all's in it. I don't do any of the ordering. So, but they do feed it's almost kind of powdery, and it has just a little bit of a pellet in it, but it's mainly like a powder feed.
Yeah. So, I guess what's the day look like? Like on the day when y'all are out there doing that kind of stuff, like what does it look like? How many are we talking about? And what kind of property they on? How many acres y'all got?
So typically, on an average day when we're just feeding and checking traps, and making sure everybody's healthy, we get up at about, I don't know, we'll start trotting at like 6 every morning, and we're typically done between 10 to 11 depending on how much trouble we have, like if stuff's getting sick. And right now to this date, this morning I trotted through 1,233 head, and we'll get another 4,000 in before the season's over.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and the place that Kyle manages that we live on is 13,000 acres.
No way.
Yeah. So,
Wow. Now, for us, we get jaws dropped all the time when we tell people we live on 300 acres.
yeah.
Y'all got it way bigger than us.
Yeah. And most of the traps that we use are just right here, kind of around the headquarters. Um I think there's 12 little traps that we use to straighten cattle up, and then we'll have some outside traps that we turn out into when they get a little older and we don't have to look at them as much. And this place also runs wild mustangs, so half the traps are horse pastures as well.
Okay. So you keep saying
Mhm.
traps. This might sound like a dumb question, but that's, I'm guessing, like where they're getting ran through and getting caught.
Yeah, well, like it's like a small turnout pasture. Like I would say small. It's like probably, anywhere from like 40 to 100 acres, and we put loads of cattle in according to however many that come in that day. And then, like I said, we have our bigger outside pastures for when they get um,
Mm,
older.
I
But
gotcha.
and we have two sets of pens on this place. There's like the main headquarter pens where when we receive the trucks in, we unload them in an alley, put them in a pen, overnight them. We never work anything the same day they come in. We let the cattle rest,
Mm,
and get a good drink of water because most of our cattle come from Florida and Mississippi, so they're on the trucks for quite a long time. And
gotcha.
when they come in, we let them rest overnight. And then on those days, we've been starting at like 4:30 in the morning. We're
Wow.
at the barn running cattle through because it's so hot. It's bad on them if we wait any longer. So
Really?
yeah, so we'll start early, early.
Now remind me where y'all are from again?
We are in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Got it.
Yeah,
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome
yeah.
for sure. Now, I know you're talking about the heat of the day. We've been working like we have 30 I'm sorry. We have 12 3-year-olds we've been working
Mm-hmm.
these past uh really really in depth these past 2 weeks. And we're getting up, 5 in the morning or 4 or 5 in the morning, and then
Yep.
we're working probably till noon,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking a break because the Florida humidity is so bad. um
Yeah.
it's honestly make you sick, honestly. And then working then late into the evening. It sounds like that's what y'all a lot of what y'all are doing as well.
Yes, yes, that is exactly what we're doing. Because when it gets to lunchtime, noonish, it's too hot to. It's hard on
Hmm.
your animals. It's hard on you, um, and so yeah, we've been getting up and getting after it early. And then if we do have to go back, we wait till close to dark. And we actually have some cattle to rotate here in just a little bit when it cools off.
Really?
So yeah, we'll go back out and move them around, and we um fog them as well. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's like a big fly sprayer, like an industrial size fly sprayer that's on the back of our truck. And so when we line them up in the feed line, we'll drive back around them and fog them so we keep the flies off of them.
That sounds rich. That sounds rich.
I don't know. It's kind of messy.
Y'all
It's
rich
gross.
folks out there?
I guess I don't know where they're getting their money, but I'd like to know the secret. If I could get some
Yeah.
of it, it would be cool.
So y'all are actually staying on someone else's and working it for them. Is that what my understanding is?
Yes. Yep. So, and my husband is on salary, of course, and then I'm like the full-time day worker during the busy seasons. So I get
Hmm.
paid 7 days a week if I want to go 7 days, and if I have to skip a day to go do something else, it's not a big deal. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we and they provide us with a house and a feed truck and all the things.
Now, are y'all the only ones that do this, or is there multiple different people that are out here doing this?
No, there's two other guys that are full time on this place alone where we are, and then we have Kyle's boss has another ranch that's like 30 miles from here, maybe 35, and there's another full time guy that runs that ranch as well.
Really? That's awesome.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
do you still work at, was it a steakhouse you said?
I actually stopped working there just because of we got busy getting cattle in, and so I finished up like last week.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you were working there while this season was slower. Now this is picking back up, so you're just
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah. Yeah,
S-
and we've got, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
No,
but
you're
we've
good.
got between all the cattle coming in, and then I think we have six more 2-year-olds to start,
Wow.
something like that. And that's just the ranch horses. That's not including Kyle and I's personal horses. Including our personal horses, we have four of our own 2-year-olds to start, and then six for the ranch.
Really? So,
Hmm.
how in the world did y'all? I mean, okay, if I may have asked this in the last episode, but how in the world did y'all even get into this at all? Like, did y'all know the people who owned it, or how did that work?
Hmm. Yeah, he grew up around this area. And so when we decided that we wanted to branch out from my parents, because we were working for them, And when we decided that we wanted to branch out and kind of go do our own thing for a while, because, working with family is very difficult. And
Mm.
we wanted to salvage the relationship with my parents. And,
Yeah.
so working for somebody else was easier and whole lot less conflict.
Yeah.
So um, he decided he wanted to come back up here because this is where all his contacts were, just because this was his area of familiarity. And
Hmm.
so we came up here, and like within the day that we decided to quit, within the hour, we had a week to get our stuff moved up here because we already had work lined up.
Really? That is
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, and we've been after it ever since.
Yeah. Now, do y'all have kids?
Nope, nope, we don't have kids yet. We're um trying to start our family, but nope, not yet.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, um, you had mentioned that y'all are also, so I'm guessing on top of the cattle and stuff, you had mentioned some younger horses that y'all are
Hmm.
working with as well. That's, I'm
Hmm.
guessing, part of all of it as well.
Oh yeah. We actually just bought a new round pen. It's supposed to be here the beginning of next week. We're all super excited about it because we've been having to start them in a square pen, and um, we're not opposed to, but um, it's a neat fact about this place, but it's also not the handiest when you're trying to ride a colt and you might get your knee smashed.
Yeah.
The pins here um are the original set of wooden pins that they had to dynamite the posts, like the upright posts. We have a lot of sandstone, so they had to dynamite those in, and they are the original fence posts from 1938.
No way.
Yeah, and all the pins are like solid wood, and so they have these huge bolts. Like, I don't know if you can see that circle. It's like um and like, so your crossboards are bolted on with these large bolts, and so starting a colt in there sometimes can get kind of dangerous because those bolts stick out just a little bit.
Yeah.
um yeah, so we bought a round pin and are going to have it set up this coming week, so that'll make our jobs a little easier.
That's awesome. So for us, I feel the round pin struggle because for us, we had a round pin and we took our round pin apart and
Mm-hmm.
it went to make our arena bigger. Um,
Right.
and so we didn't have a round pin for a long time. We have all these horses and, starting anything out in the open arena is like,
That's kind of
it's
scary.
it's a no go. It's a no go. So
Yeah, it can get
finally, so finally, they decided to buy a brand new round pin. I'm like, thank God, and
yeah.
it's been a lifesaver for sure, especially with younger horses. It's
Sorry,
been
my dog
you're
knocked
good.
on the
It's been
door.
awesome. You're
Yeah,
good.
that's how we feel too. We're like, we cannot wait for that thing for it to get here, because my goodness, because like you say, out in the wide open, and I mean it can get crazy really fast, and I just think that it helps, the whole process just go
Yeah,
a little bit easier.
for sure, for sure. Now, you had mentioned, on top of working with all horses, you mentioned Mustangs.
Yes. So, his boss has a contract for housing the wild BLM Mustangs. So, I say the other guys take care of them, and they're just turned out living their best lives, and like they're fed, they're well taken care of. They have a feed program in the wintertime that they have to do the same as we do with the cows, and yeah, they just hang out.
Yeah.
They're
So,
everywhere out here.
so y'all don't like break them or ride them or nothing.
No, no, they're strictly here just to live out their days and be taken care of. I think most of ours come from like South Dakota area,
Hmm.
because I know that like some people get them in from, like Nevada, Arizona area, but all of ours come from up north.
Have you ever tried to break a Mustang?
No, no, actually, I have not. Most of them that we get in are older, so they're
Uh,
large, and I don't want
Gotcha.
to take that on. I think that would probably end up hurting me more than it would do good. So,
Yeah. So when we first started this deal out, we had our rodeo horses and we're like, you know what? it was a wonderful idea. They were
Mm-hmm.
going to pay you to take these horses.
Right.
Yeah, I think they paid $500 after the first month, and then like $500 more after a couple more months. Like they're going to pay you to take these horses. So we got two younger Mustangs,
Oh
and
goodness.
in our head, you know, we're just going to break them, ride them. It
Yeah.
would be fine. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not
Absolutely not.
fine.
That was like they're like little trauma kids. Like that's what mom said. They're little traumatic. Um, they're absolutely traumatized, and it's like, what in
Yes.
the world? Like they don't know nothing about nothing.
No.
Never used to being held in anywhere. Um, it was a wreck.
They
Wreck.
scat Yeah. They scatter like quail. Like you should see the like when they're all in this. I can only imagine, like two of them's bad enough, but like you should see that when they're all in their herd together, there's like 150 of them.
Mm,
And when you go out there, like they hate a person on horseback. So, like if you were to ride anything through the pasture, they scatter like little quail. They run around
yeah.
like crazy.
Mm. So for us, I mean, I guess it's better for y'all because for us, it was maybe only 4 or 5 acres these horses were on. These two horses were on.
Yeah.
Uh, they were not used to that. Y'all's
Uh-uh.
horses actually get to run free and go a little bit
Yep.
everywhere.
Yeah, they have their designated pastures where they stay and they rotate. They have a 30-day rotational system so they don't overgraze the pastures so their grass stays good. And yeah, they just get to hang out and live
Yeah,
life, I guess.
that's awesome. Okay, so back to where we're yeah, Mustangs, that's definitely a no-go. When they are not used to that, it's
Mhm.
never gonna work. Not at
Yeah,
all.
and they're a
Um,
whole different breed than like a quarter horse or anything. Because I mean, we've messed with a lot of younger horses, and that is a whole different ball game.
yeah. So I remember the last time, we had them. This was the very last ride. Um, Joker bucked so hard, the saddle came completely off,
Oh no!
flipped him over, and as he flipped over, the bridle landed in his hand. So we're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah,
We're done.
like no more. I'm yeah over that part.
And
No,
to put into perspective, that was before round pin times. So
right?
it was a wreck from the get go. A wreck from
Yeah,
the get go. Now
I
some
can only
people
imagine.
some people can say it's pretty successful. And I've seen some rodeo horses who are like, this was a Mustang. I'm like, good for you. I don't know how that
Yeah,
was how. That is wild to me.
yeah. Props
Absolutely
to
wild to
you.
me.
I'm glad somebody can conquer one because that's really
Yes.
hard.
Yes. Now y'all have rodeo horses, right? But like y'all's horses.
Yes, we have two that we've been hauling. We actually went to, which we haven't had time to even hardly rope in a while, but we actually last weekend we finally got to go to a rodeo that wasn't very far from the house, and it's actually named the largest amateur rodeo in the world. It's called the Cavalcade,
Mm,
and this was my first year ever going to it, but Kyle has entered it since he was a kid, and I actually won the average in the breakaway.
really?
Yeah, but I rode a 6-year-old roan, and I had to run barrels on him because so like this one's it's kind of strange. You have to have a roundup club. You have to be part of a roundup club, and every roundup club enters like one person per event. So like if you're the senior women's barrel racer, nobody else from your roundup club can run barrels. And I'd
Hmm.
never been anywhere like that. And so some of our people backed out. So I ended up running my horse in the barrels, heading a steer, and breakawaying on him.
Wow. A 6-year-old?
Yeah, and then Kyle made the short round in the team roping, and he healed on his 4-year-old bay mare,
Wow.
and she handled it like a champ.
That's awesome. Now, do y'all, were those horses y'all broke?
Yes, Kyle. He started both of them, and he gave me the roan when we got married. Um, that was my wedding present. Was the roan horse that I
I was
rode?
about to say that seemed like a nice gift. That
Yeah,
seemed like you wanted something.
I can't complain about that one. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Um, I I'm missing rodeo so much. Like right now, the horse I've been riding went
Hmm.
lame, ain't rodeoing, so we're riding all these young horses trying to make something. Oh my goodness, it bothers me so bad. Like when to scroll by and see jackpots up the road and all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it bothers me to death. Have you ever been a place where you like either don't have time to rodeo or you were just like don't have the horses?
Yes, that has been so. When we decided to move from my mom and dad's place up here, everything that I had been riding, my parents' ranch owned, so they kept them all. So I moved up
Mm,
here with nothing, and I felt like I had that lost feeling because I had never not had anything to go jackpot on or go to rodeos on.
yes.
And I just had that like super lost, like what do I do now? Because I don't have any other hobbies. I'm like, now what do I? So I started riding that roan, and then that's when we got married, Kyle put him in my name, and he's my horse and nobody else rides him. But still, like, we had to build from the ground up. I mean, he's only 6, and he'd had 30 steers headed on him when he gave him to me, and with working all the time, you don't have time to get them finished and get them going. And so I think he's been to five jackpots in one rodeo kind of thing. I mean, so
Really.
I definitely feel you where you just, I don't know, there's like a void there when you don't have the horses to go
Mm.
on. This You have that lost feeling of, what do I do?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, yeah, it's a worst feeling in the world. Absolutely. Like, and for me, thank God, like I can stay busy with a lot of other stuff. Like, thank
Mm-hmm.
God. But I know for some people, it's like, I know nothing else but this. Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, rodeo, 100%. Like, if I had the horse to be rodeoing every day, probably wouldn't be
Hmm.
podcasting right now. Like, it would just be roping, roping, roping.
Right.
But, um, yeah, but for me, like, thank God I'm able to have, able to podcast and, other things that I'm able to do.
Yeah.
But man, for some people, I don't know how they do it. I absolutely don't know how they do it.
I don't either, but at the same time, I look at those people that's their whole life, and they don't know anything else. But then, like, can you imagine being gone for that long all the time? Like, how do you build something at home? Because you can only rodeo for so long.
Yeah,
I mean, there's gonna come a point where you have to do something else, and what are you gonna fall back on
yeah,
if that's all you've ever done?
yeah,
That like I don't know. I guess I look at it from that perspective now that I've had to sit out, and I'm like, man, like I've actually got money in the bank.
mm,
I'm not trying to rope my way out of a hole.
yeah,
And um so I'm grateful for that, but I still enjoy the opportunities when I do get to go.
yeah, for sure. And I've talked to some people who have retired out of rodeo, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to die. Honestly, like
Hmm.
I don't see it. But they're like, you'll know the time. Like you'll know, you'll feel it, you'll
Yeah.
realize like it's time to be done.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that. Your body, your horses, your bank account, all of it can be the
Yeah,
clear indicator when it's time to step back from it. And
yeah,
you know, luckily now that they have the World Series ropings and stuff like that, it's not as bad to go for one weekend of that once a month, and um, kind of get your fix of it, but not be gone all the time.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And like, yeah, I think jackpots and stuff, like being able to do jackpots and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
I think that can hold some people along instead of having to be in like, you got to make this amount of rodeos and be here and here and here and here. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what really, really like drains people. But
Yes.
I think jackpots is what keeping some cowboys alive for sure.
100%. And two, like there's we've gotten into where we go to the ranch rodeos more so than we do the regular rodeos, and
Yeah.
which is fun because we get to go with our friends, and we put together the best team we possibly can. And we actually have a men's team which I'm a part of too, or like I guess you could call it, it's the WRCA. We have a team in that, and then I have a women's team that goes to the WRRAs, and we've qualified for the finals with my women's team.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get your fix of going somewhere and not having to stay home all the time.
Yeah. Ranch rodeo, I'm hearing that more and more. That around here, I really never ever hear people talk about ranch rodeo.
Really?
I know a lady, well, I'm sure there are, but it's nothing I'm looking for. Like, I don't
Right.
hang around ranch rodeoers. Or no one that I know that rodeos ranch rodeos. Like, that's just, I don't know. But I know someone, California that ranch rodeos. And like, I hear it, but
Hmm.
I'm guessing that's becoming more and more popular. Because even back then, I hear like ranch rodeo was more popular than rodeo, and I think
Hmm.
now it's starting to come back around. Or
Hmm.
maybe it's been the same way. What do you think?
Um, I do believe it's coming back around because, nowadays people think it's cool to be a cowboy. So
Yeah,
I think that that's really helped the game. Like it's been a game changer. And I also feel like ranching jobs are paying a little bit better. So people can afford to go to the rodeos, they can afford to enter and take their families. And that is one thing that I enjoy about it is it's a very family oriented situation. So like I mean, you have kids riding around on their ponies, and the moms are cooking out at the trailers, and videoing the runs, and everybody's competing. And um I just feel like it's a good atmosphere, and it gives the like common everyday working man a chance to
yeah,
go do that and compete and be successful.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I like that. And the ranchers has been, um, they're practically that's what's cool because these ranchers they're doing it every day. They are
Yeah.
practicing for what they're going to do every single day. Now,
Hmm.
team ropers, we rope quite often, but like we're not actually getting that hands-on experience doing it, or at least most, I would say, are not consistently able to do that and make money doing it. Team ropers got to make money
Right.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But these ranch people, they're able. So I'm guessing there's some really tough competition on that side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys are super handy, and like and one thing that I think really, really stands out, besides just the roping abilities, is for one, the ability to read a cow and work the cow. And then their horses are so much different than just a regular team roping horse or a calf horse or whatever. Like they're very broke, they're very cowy. A lot of them ride super fancy. Um, and it's just because those guys use them every day. I mean, they get up and they saddle them at 3:30 and beat the heat. And I mean, they have like that horse is their livelihood. And so that's also a neat part of it, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. Are you good at roping?
Am I what?
Are you good at throwing a rope?
Oh yeah, yeah. I won the US TRC finals back when I was 18. That was back when the 13 point was a five header when it was at
Really?
the original in Oklahoma City. And yep, I went up there after a college rodeo. Um and I won the 13 point with Seth Hall from New Mexico, and that was a really cool first big win. And then I went to college on a full ride rodeo scholarship for Tarleton State University. I went to the college national finals in the breakaway and the goat tying, um, and I won fourth in the nation in the breakaway the year that I went up there. I've had quite a few wins, like at the World Series or Opens, and I've been to Vegas for that, and so yeah, I've rodeoed
You've
my
had
whole
your fair
life.
share.
Yeah,
Wow,
for
that's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
What is your plan? Like, what is your end goal? What do you want to accomplish? Like before you're like, I'm done. What is your end? You go out with a bang.
Um, I don't know. I'd like to go to Vegas a couple more times for the World Series finals. Um, but I told Kyle the other day, I really want to make the circuit finals at least once in the breakaway. Um, I don't know that I want to rodeo hard enough to like try to make the NFR, but I think going to the circuit finals at least would be cool.
Yeah,
Um, which which I have I filled my permit shoot years ago. So I've I've circuit rodeoed in the breakaway and the barrels, but I think I finally have a horse that actually fits me
yeah,
better than I did the last time I circuit rodeoed. So I think that's pretty much my big goal right now
yeah.
is get him finished enough to go to those rodeos.
Yeah, for sure. And so it's not as much, tough competition and traveling as, trying to make the NFR.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
got
mean,
that.
and like our rodeos are tough, like because I'm prairie circuit, so it's Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. And like some of our rodeos dip down like right across the Red River into Texas. So I mean, it's tough. Like all those girls from Stephenville and all that come up to our circuit rodeos. Um, so it's not going to be easy, but I'm not going to have to just try and out haul everybody. I can
Yeah,
make the few here and there, and if I draw good and rope sharp, I should be fine.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Do you think you have it in you? Like if you really wanted to, do you think you can make the NFR?
Yeah, if I really wanted to, um, I think I could. I think like I said, I've got the right horse, and I think when he gets to his solid part, I mean, we're almost there, but when he gets really solid, I think that I could do it.
You should.
He's fast, he scores good, and he stops hard. I really do think I could do it.
You should. And if you do, don't forget me.
I won't. I promise.
Don't forget me. If you make the NFR, we're getting you on another interview.
Okay, sounds
Before the
good. Deal.
NFR and after
Deal.
the NFR. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I wouldn't say you're necessarily slowing down, but you still got a lot of goals ahead. You've
Yeah.
accomplished a lot, but you still got a lot of goals ahead moving forward.
Yes, I do. And I think that my support system now, having Kyle, um, that was a game changer. Like he came into my life at the right time. He's been such a blessing to me. And I think that that made it easier for me to keep my goals alive
Yeah,
and keep wanting to move forward. Because man, rodeo's a hard thing to do if you don't have good support. And
yeah,
not saying that my parents didn't ever support me and whatever, because they still do to this day. And they have my whole life. But just having that one special person that sure enough has your back in every aspect of it, um, is a whole game changer.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, what kind of stuff does he do? I,
He used to rope calves back in the day, but he quit roping calves and he just team ropes and then ranch rodeos and ranches every day. He's
yeah,
he's one of those guys that really likes to go to the ranch rodeos and do that, and so that's what we do for the most part, unless we find a little jackpot or something around.
yeah. Ranch rodeo, train horses. Like y'all got the
Hmm.
y'all live the cowboy life every single day.
Yep, and that's what um it's kind of it's a running joke, like even on the coldest days or the hottest days or the rainy days when you don't necessarily want to be out there, we'll be riding along there across the pasture, and he'll look at me and he'll say, "Hey," and I'll look over there and I'll be like, "What?" He said, "You know what I love about being a cowboy?" And I'm like, "No, what?" every GD thing, and that's that's his saying. And even though it's a miserable ass day, he's like, we love every aspect of it.
Yeah,
So it's nice to get up and pull your boots on every day and go and see the progression of your colts, and you know make sure your cattle are good, make sure they're fat, and it just gives you a lot of personal freedom as well. Like, you know, if we have something to do in the afternoons or want to go do something, we have the ability to go do it because we've already put in our day
yeah.
first thing that morning, and we can go do whatever we want.
hmm And
So
there's no like questioning. Did I work for it today? Did I like y'all are working for it every single day?
every single day I mean, we get up and we go at it, and yeah, there's days where you're tired and it's frustrating, and but that's in every job.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't change this one for anything.
yeah. Now I'm gonna ask you a
It's
crazy
it's
guy.
okay. Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, okay. If imagine you didn't have no horses, the ranch, everything was gone. Western wasn't even on your mind anymore. You just decided to throw it all away. What would you be doing?
Oh man. Um, I don't know, to be honest. I'd probably own a boat. I would definitely own a boat. And because I'm a lake rat when it gets hot. I like to go to the lake. Um, what else would I do? I don't know. My degree is in kinesiology. So I probably would have continued on and went to physical therapy school and got my
Yeah,
license to be a physical therapist.
yeah.
That would probably what I would have done.
Isn't it crazy to think like, man, what a boring life it would be to have a normal life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
hate to say it like that, but like trying to picture a normal life, it's like so boring. Like working the 9 to 5 and
Uh-huh.
going home and making dinner and like just like
What do you do? Like, yeah.
going to
I asked one of the girls that I was waiting tables with this winter because I said something about having a day off. And she was like, well, I don't really know if I want a day off, because she was like, what am I going to do? Just like go home and sit inside and maybe read a book? And I was like, that's really all you do when you're at home?
yeah,
I was like, that's boring. Like, huh? But
yeah,
I guess I don't think about it because like I I have other tasks. Like I get up and I have animals and have to mess with them and go, go ride a colt, go make some miles, go check some cows. And for them to just be like, yeah, I don't know what I would do. I think I'm just going to go either shopping or read a book. I'm like, oh, that's a miserable existence. Like, that
yeah,
sounds terrible.
yeah. Like, and it's so awesome, like especially in the animal side of things, like never having a dull moment ever,
Hmm.
ever. Like, okay, this is absolutely crazy, but mom went on this wild, I don't know what she was thinking, but she was like, I'm buying 20 goats.
Oh my gosh.
So she bought 20 goats. I hate goats. I really do.
Hmm.
But we're going to goat rope. So I'm not going to complain. You know what I mean? 20
Right,
goats.
right.
And
20 whole goats. Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
that'll work because goats are very hard to keep in the pen. They're very aggravating, whatever. So we get these
Yeah.
goats and so we also have donkeys, the nicest donkeys in the world.
Okay.
We're
I kind
like,
of want a
in our
donkey. I do want a donkey.
we have three donkeys. They're kind of old. They're kind of older, but we have three donkeys. Um,
Okay.
and they're super nice. Pet on them, nicest things in the world.
Yeah.
We also had two other goats, bigger goats,
Hmm.
and we put the donkeys with the goats because they're right by the woods. And we have bigger goats and we have the tinier goats we just bought, and um, they were right there. They're by the woods, out in the woods. We didn't want to get ate by a coyote or something, so we put the donkeys in there
Right.
so all these baby
Right.
goats aren't walking around. I'm telling you, within 5 minutes, we put the donkeys in there. Someone comes running in. The donkeys, they about killed the big goat. They about killed the goat. What are you talking about? Open the
What?
door. Donkey is chasing that thing,
Oh
jumping
my
on it, going
gosh.
crazy. We get down there, and the goat's just laying out on the ground. And I'm like, these
Oh
nice,
no.
the nicest donkeys in the world. What just happened? long story short, donkeys and goats don't get along evidently.
See, but
Who knew?
that's crazy because growing up, my dad had a donkey that he would put on a little like Buford looking roundy thing and he would heel him.
Yeah.
And um he lived in my goat pen and I had a pygmy goat named Gabe and Gabe would ride on the donkey. He would sleep on his butt at nighttime so the coyotes wouldn't get him.
And I've seen donkeys and goats together. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And these nicest donkeys, nicest goats. Put them together, don't know what happened. The donkey did live. The donkey was I mean the goat lived. It was fine. It was okay.
Right.
But
Little
I was
stun.
like,
I'm sorry.
I've never in my life thought that would happen. But that just
No.
goes to show you dull moments like it's not around here. That doesn't happen around here.
No, I love to sit on my back porch and like our horses can come like right here to our backyard fence and I watch them play and like they'll come and hang their heads over the fence and want attention or anything like that and then my dogs are running around. It's just yeah, there's never a dull moment and I
No.
cannot imagine having a life with none of that in it.
Yeah. To finish this out, we're gonna finish out, but um to give an example, give me one example that's just like, for me, it was like, man, we've had thousands of things like horses cut their face open or like, all this crazy stuff. Like, I feel
Hmm.
like I'm a vet at this point. Again, never dull moments
Right.
around here. Give us one thing where people's like, you don't have dull moments around your place? What happens? What happens around there that's like, man, we just don't have them?
Um, well, the other day we got two or three loads of cattle in, and everything was fine. We processed them, got them turned out. Everybody was happy, healthy. Out into the grass they go. The next morning, I was supposed to go to my other job. This is before I quit at the restaurant, and I so I didn't go down to the barn with Kyle that morning. He calls me at 6 o'clock in the morning and he's like, "Hey, you're not going to work today." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not." And he was like, "No, you're not going. I need you. Saddle your horse." A set of stray dogs came through and ran the cattle through 7 different fences. It took us 3 days to find them all.
No way.
Never a dull moment,
See,
ever.
y'all are finding them and roping them, and wow.
Yep, that or gathering them and putting them back through. And we fixed fence for hours that day. And because I mean, like I said, they were tearing down like 40-foot sections of fence.
No way.
And I mean, they were just yeah, they were all gone. They were everywhere. So there was 385 of them spread out from here to Timbuktu, I feel
Wow.
like. Yeah.
Is that barbed wire?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yep. Yep. That it's never a dull moment around here because of that. And I mean, we had no idea where these dogs even came from. Like we don't have close neighbors. Like I mean, we live out in the middle of nowhere, and they were running stuff through the fence left and right.
Yeah. How'd you know they were dogs?
We actually came across one of the guys that lives across the highway from us. One of them was over there in his pasture, and then um, one of them came up into my front yard. I got up early one morning to put my dogs outside, and one of them was standing on the sidewalk in the front yard. And then the other one that we saw, which they've all expired, they're no longer with us, R.I.P. Um,
Ah!
they they there we have a set of pins in between like where my house is and where the main pins are. There's like a little set, so in case like you have one that's sick in one of those traps that touches it, you don't have to drive them so far. And one of the dogs was standing in there in that little set
Man,
of pins.
I can only imagine sitting here fixing barbed wire. You're probably thinking, man, I wish one of these dogs walked by right now.
Yeah, I mean, just ruins your whole day because that's the worst thing. That I hate fixing fence. I'm not very good at it, and I really hate doing it. But we just load the cooler up, and there'll be like three of us on the buggy, and we'll just go fix it.
Wow, that is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Wild, wild, wild.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that happens that's like, oh man, that, like it's mind blowing to other people. Um, I don't know, and like I think like some of the most funnest times is like when you're receiving cattle in the middle of the winter and somebody's colt blows up and goes to bucking, and it's just, I
Yes.
mean, something that happens because it's cold and everything's fresh and wants to do, um,
Yeah.
but there's lots of moments like that. Um, uh, it's interesting days around here.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Well, that is absolutely awesome
Mm,
and wild. Like that seems like it's the norm, like people we
mm-hmm,
had we had a cowboy church down here at our house, and this is absolutely wild to me. We had a 6-year-old
mm-hmm,
stud, and put him in the round pen, never been haltered, never been saddled, never been touched really. Just
right,
practically just we've been breeding with him. All that's ever been
right,
done. Well, during this cowboy church, we said we're gonna have a he's gonna break a horse. This guy we know, he's gonna break a horse and he's gonna talk about Jesus. Like you see videos like that, like
yeah,
practically. And I lean over to my buddy and that doesn't do anything with horses, and I'm like, this is about to be a rodeo. This is about to
yeah,
be a rodeo because
yeah,
he kept saying I'm gonna get on this horse by the end of the night. I said this is gonna be a rodeo, and he only had a couple hours to get everything done. And and this buddy I'm talking to, one of my best Christian friends, like I have, he's like, you don't have no faith. And I was like, you just don't know. You just don't know.
yeah. You're like
And so,
faith or not faith. That's a really hard task for that
yeah.
amount of time.
And so he gets his horse in there, ropes it off his horse, does whatever, halters
Hmm.
it, probably first 20 minutes, halters it. I'm like, okay. Gets down, puts his horse up, round pins it, whatever. And mind you, when he goes in this horse is kicking at his horse, like just going crazy. And
Yeah.
um puts his halter on, okay, good. Round pins him round, good. Puts a pad on him, no problem. Throws a saddle on him, no problem. Tightens it up, barely flinches. And I said,
Dang.
I look over and I said, wait till he round pins this thing with a saddle on. It's about to buck like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Takes his halter off, round pins him. Thing lopes literally perfectly. Not a care in the world.
Crazy.
I was like, ain't no way he's getting on him. Throws his leg over, gets on, lopes this stud around the pin. Buddy looks over to me and he goes, you don't have faith. And I was just like, horses don't do that. Like,
No,
and we have all
never.
this audience, and I said that because like it's and like the whole time they're breaking this horse, everyone's just like, jaw to the ground. Like it's so cool for them to go watch and see. Like it's not normal
Yeah.
for these people to be able to see cool things like this. And like the horse industry, people love it. And like telling
Mm-hmm.
stories like that for people, which is normal for us. Like watching a horse get broke, watching a horse get out, that's normal for us. But
Yeah.
watching a colt buck like crazy when it's cold like that, that's just it just happens. But
Yeah.
for the other people, like that's cool for them. It's
Yeah.
something that they want to see and be able to do.
Absolutely. Like we had one. So I halter broke like all the 2-year-olds I was telling you we have to start. I halter broke all those for the ranch this past winter. And we they had gotten to the point where I had like I could catch them, tie them to the fence, let them eat out of a bucket. And I had a sorting flag, and I would flag them all over, just desensitizing them, all things. So I had Kyle and Devin, one of the other kids that works here, help me saddle them one day, and we just like saddled them and left them tied to the fence. They didn't set back. They didn't have any problems. Everything was cool. Well, we went to unsaddle him that evening, and the gentlest one, like he was the very first one that you could walk up and just catch without having to sort him off from the herd. You could just walk in there and get him. He'd always been the easiest one. Jerked away from jerked away from whoever was leading him and started running around the pen bucking. Well, like everything else is tied to the fence, like in the same pen we're in. And he runs underneath one of the other colts' necks, like runs underneath his lead rope, and you hear this pow. And I was like, please let that be my saddle horn. Like, please let him have just
Yeah.
like broke the tree in my saddle. I don't care. No, it was his leg.
No way.
Like he just pushed off in a weird angle and it snapped it in half. I was like, oh my gosh, it made me so sick. I was crying. Kyle was like, Katey, just go home. We're going to have to put him down. I was bawling and I'm like, no, this is my job and I'm not leaving. And it was so, it was so awful. And,
Wow.
but that's just like, it's just one of those things that just happens. Like, you can't help that. Like,
Hmm.
who would have ever
Yeah.
thought that the gentlest one of them all would have done something really stupid?
Yeah. And it happens. It's just one of those things. But again, goes back to there's not a dull moment in this sport,
Never
in this
ever.
industry at all.
No, no, it was so bad. And I, I'm like super soft-hearted because I love all my animals. And I mean, even those horses that aren't technically mine, but I have a connection with them because I work with them all the time. And, um, man, it's heartbreaking to see that
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that people don't realize. Like if they don't have what we have and like they're not used to like caring for an animal, like they don't understand. Like because sometimes like I've been told like, well, you guys are just heartless because yeah, there's sometimes where you have to like don't let things get to you. But at the same time, when something like that happens, like I do show emotion because I care about them. Like they're my family. They rely on me for everything that they get. And when they get hurt, I feel like I've let them down.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think a lot of people look at our industry and they're like, well, you guys are a bunch of heartless people, y'all don't care. They're just a tool to you. But they're not. They're not just a tool.
They're not.
They're our families, they're our friends, and they rely on us for everything they've got. So um, I think that's another aspect of like people who don't do what we do, they completely miss out on that.
Yeah. And that's one of my big things. Like I always hope to spread awareness. Like these animals, like are literally everything. They are from,
Mm-hmm.
our whole life, most of the time, income,
Yes, our
most of the time,
jobs, yeah.
yeah, most of the time can take income from some. But
Right.
like it's literally everything. Like you don't pour
Yeah.
your whole life into something and then treat
Mhm.
it bad or anything like that. Like they're everything that we have.
Yeah, yeah. Like I want them, and like everybody's like, oh, well, it's just a tool. They just help you do your job, blah, blah, blah. No, no, not really, because I want them to be my friend, and I want them to do their job as well as I need them to do because they want to, because they're my friend and I'm asking them. I don't like to make them do it out of fear. I would rather take 6 more months on my colt and make him love to do his job than
Hmm.
demand that he does his job and him hate it.
Yeah, yeah, I get that for sure. That is awesome.
So,
And
yeah,
yeah,
it's
you want your animals to enjoy it just as much as you do.
yeah, it's no different than this dog that's been laying at my feet for the last hour just because I'm sitting outside and he wants to be with me. So he's just hanging out. He brought his tennis ball over here and he's just laying here.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way it
So,
is. And
mm-hmm.
people, yeah, animals ain't gonna. They love it, especially the horse. And they love. Well, there's some that don't, but 90% of the animals, if you're doing it right and you're training right and you're doing everything, they love their job. Like they
Mm-hmm.
want it. And so I think that's also something that's hard for people to understand on that aspect as well. They love what they do
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, ending out this call, usually, and I realized this last time we were going back, and I think my editor sent me the video, and I watched the podcast like before they go out. And all my podcasts, I always start with prayer, and I did
Mm-hmm.
not do it on the last episode, and I did not start with prayer this episode either. So we're going to end with prayer here.
Okay.
Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share before we end this podcast out?
No, I'm just super grateful that you wanted me to come back and
Yeah,
have another opportunity to chat. And I hope that somebody gets something out of all this. And
yeah,
uh, I always want to reassure people that if they ever have a question, or if they ever want to know something, like, don't feel free, don't be afraid to reach out. You have all my social platforms
yeah,
and all that stuff. And I want everybody to feel like they can always ask, or just if they need to talk or whatever. um don't be afraid to don't be
yeah.
afraid to reach out. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. And maybe in a few months or after you get through all that you're wanting to go through with your horse, we can do another episode and catch up. I like doing these catch up episodes. They're a lot of fun. But yeah, let me
yeah,
end with prayer and we will go from there. And we'll end out the call if you have nothing else to share.
yeah, that sounds great.
Dear Lord, I thank you for allowing me to be able to do this podcast. Lord, I thank you, God, for all the viewers and all the listeners, all the guests that continue to come on all these episodes. God, you've continued to bless me with guest after guest after guest, and I'm so thankful. God, I pray, God, this podcast today would help somebody, whether they're wanting to get into the rodeo industry or the Western industry, or if they're just looking for somebody to look up to. God, I just pray, God, that it helps somebody out today. God, I pray that as Katey goes along her way in the rodeo industry or ranching every day, that you would keep her safe and that your will would be done over her life. God, I praise you and thank you, God, and I pray that you continue to bless this podcast. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for joining the episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Adios.